But why would someone willingly choose to retain their semen? Beyond the spiritual and philosophical reasons, semen retention serves as a profound test of one's willpower. It challenges the individual to resist primal urges, redirect sexual energy into productive endeavors, and experience heightened levels of focus, confidence, and vitality. Today's man is surrounded by temptation. From suggestive social media feeds to easily accessible pornography, the world constantly bombards him with the urge to release, to indulge, to consume. The cultural narrative says, "Give in, there's no harm, you deserve it." But hidden in that message is a subtle poison, a slow erosion of willpower, energy, and masculine essence. This is where semen retention becomes not just a health practice, but a battlefield for self-mastery. If you can resist the strongest biological urge you have, the drive to ejaculate, you prove to yourself that you are not a slave to your impulses. This is the first and greatest test. Can you say no to yourself? Discipline is built, not bought. Practicing semen retention forces you to develop discipline. Unlike temporary motivation or external validation, discipline is internal. It's a steel spine you forge each time you refuse to relapse. And make no mistake, there'll be urges, fantasies, and moments of weakness. These are not signs of failure, but opportunities for growth. Discipline is not about being perfect. It's about being resilient. When you commit to retention, you must watch your mind like a hawk. You start to recognize the triggers. What thoughts or emotions make you crave release? You become hyper-aware of your environment, your routines, and your choices. It all becomes a training ground. And slowly, the wild, undisciplined boy inside you is replaced by a self-governed man. Strength is often misunderstood. People think it's about lifting weights or dominating others. But real strength lies in self-control. The man who can conquer his own desires is infinitely more powerful than the one who can conquer others. When you retain your semen, you are choosing to hold on to your vital force. This is not repression, but conservation, a deliberate choice to transmute your raw sexual energy into something higher. Over time, this energy builds up. It fuels your confidence, your clarity, your ambition. You become unshakable because your power is no longer leaking out of you. You're containing it, directing it, owning it. This is a test. Can you remain grounded when everything in your body screams for release? Can you redirect your energy toward your goals, your vision, your legacy? If you can, you're not just strong, you're dangerous in the best way. We live in a fast food culture. Everything is now. But mastery doesn't live in the now. It lives in the delay, in the waiting, in the self-denial that builds power. Semen retention is a daily decision to choose long-term greatness over short-term pleasure. Each day you retain, you're practicing delayed gratification. You're saying, my future self matters more than my current comfort. And this mindset bleeds into every area of your life. You delay the urge to scroll aimlessly, to binge food, to procrastinate, because you've already practiced delaying the most powerful urge of all, ejaculation. Retention rewires your brain to thrive in discomfort. And the man who is comfortable being uncomfortable is unstoppable. Semen retention doesn't just affect your body. It reveals your emotional landscape. Most men use ejaculation as a form of escape. Feeling stressed? Release. Feeling lonely? Release. Feeling bored? Release. But when you cut off that escape route, you're forced to sit with yourself. You begin to notice what emotions you've been running from. The practice becomes a mirror, reflecting your unresolved pain, your anxieties, your hidden wounds. This is where the deeper test begins. Can you feel your emotions without escaping them? Can you transmute that tension into creative energy, into action, into healing? The man who does this becomes emotionally sovereign, no longer ruled by fear, anger, or lust, but guided by purpose and clarity. Retention sharpens the mind. When your sexual energy isn't constantly drained, your focus intensifies. You think clearer. You remember more. Your mental fog lifts. This is not just anecdotal. Ancient yogis, warriors, and philosophers practiced celibacy and retention for this very reason. They knew that sexual energy, when conserved, becomes intellectual fire. You begin to notice a shift in how you approach tasks. Mundane things like reading, writing, or working become easier because your brain is no longer scattered. You're present. You're alert. You're locked in. And in today's distracted world, that's a massive edge. At its highest level, semen retention is a spiritual practice. Your semen is not just physical fluid. It's the substance of creation, the condensed blueprint of life. When you retain it, you're holding sacred power. Over time, this energy begins to rise. You may feel in your spine, in your chest, in your mind. It awakens your intuition, your awareness, your connection to the divine. You feel more aligned, not just with your purpose, but with something greater than yourself. You begin to understand why monks, sages, and enlightened men guarded this energy so fiercely. It wasn't out of fear, it was out of reverence. They knew that to retain semen is to say, I respect this gift. I will not waste it. True masculinity isn't defined by how many women you sleep with or how much money you make. It's defined by how well you govern yourself. Semen retention is the ultimate test of masculine control. It forces you to ask tough questions. Who am I when I'm not chasing women? What am I avoiding by seeking pleasure? What kind of man do I become when I master myself? These are not easy questions, but they are necessary because the world needs initiated men, men who have walked through fire, not men who have been coddled by comfort. Retention is fire. It burns off the weak parts of you and leaves only what is strong, real, and grounded. The world will test you too. Make no mistake, once you begin retaining, the external test will come. Women may become more attracted to you. Your sex drive may spike. Life may throw distractions your way. This is not a coincidence. The universe tests those who choose a higher path. Every challenge is a chance to prove yourself. Every temptation is a moment of choice. And with each right decision, you forge a deeper level of integrity. You begin to walk differently, talk differently. People feel your energy before you speak. You're no longer trying to be confident. You simply are. Because real confidence is the byproduct of self-trust, and there's no greater self-trust than knowing you can master your sexual energy. If you want to know what you're made of, if you want to face your inner demons, if you want to unlock your hidden strength, practice semen retention. Not because it's trendy, not because it makes you attractive, but because it tests you like nothing else can. Retention is a mirror, a furnace, a weapon, and a gift. It is a challenge that separates the boys from men, the distracted from the focused, the weak from the powerful. So ask yourself, are you ready to test yourself? If the answer is yes, then begin today. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now, because every moment you retain is a step closer to the man you were born to be, a man of power, purpose, and presence. Subscribe to this YouTube and watch more videos on your journey. Thanks.